Mike Drop Moran at your service. Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Mr. Brian. Oh, I am doing well today. Well, and Brian, I gotta say, you got my vote every time.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Y'all did vote this year, didn't you?
I have
hmm
to go do it still.
Okay.
Listen, here's why Mike Drop Moran deserves the name um Miranda Dramas, because she said last week that Stephanie White would be a perfect fit for the Indiana Fever to be their coach. Well, lo and behold, one announcement went down. Stephanie White is the new coach at for the Indiana Fever, and after doing some quick research, and y'all know I'm a madman when it comes to research, and Jody was researching with me, they could not have made a better choice, Allie.
Absolutely. This is a homecoming for Stephanie White. She has actually been the head coach of the Indiana Fever. She grew up in Indiana. She was Ms. Basketball Indiana 1,000 years ago. She has done so much for the state of Indiana and for the WNBA. This was the perfect fit. She said, um, she's got a home base in Nashville, right? Um, she's been the head coach of the Connecticut Sun the last 2 seasons.
Mhm.
She's got kids who are like pre-teenagers now, and so she was commuting from Nashville to Connecticut every week.
Right.
Uh, and now she can be close to her family. I think this played a big part in her decision to come to Indiana, come back home to Indiana. But I think the other two reasons, number one, she's fabulous at taking players to their next level. She has been, the reason why the Connecticut Sun managed to make it almost into the finals this year, if it weren't for those damn Minnesota Lynx, they and they
You
had a
got our mic
great.
drop.
Yep.
We aim to please here.
You got our mic drop.
The first of many, I hope.
Yes.
But the thing is, uh, way back when, Stephanie White led Purdue University to the 1999 NCAA Women's National Championship in basketball.
hmm
Okay, and before that, it was her local high school. Then she played 5 years in the NBA with the late lamented Charlotte Sting, and then she played with the Indiana Fever. She retired 20 years ago.
hmm
2004. Then she went on to become the assistant coach at Ball State, Kansas State, the University of Toledo, and then she went to the Chicago Sky
Yes, she did.
and did wondrous things there. And so this is absolutely the perfect time for her to be back home. She also, when she coached the Indiana Fever, she's got the perfect triumvirate of her mentor, her coach, her very dear friend Lynn Dunn, who's now the senior advisor. I think she's going to work really well with Amber Cox, who took over Lynn Dunn's role as general manager, president, whatever. And I think that it's just such a perfect fit. And I just think that she is going to be the perfect person for Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, those two rookies of the year, back to back. I think it's just a perfect fit. And if she doesn't sign Kelsey Mitchell, I'm going to kill her. But no, I can't. I can't
Mic drop
say
to him.
That's two and counting.
I can't. I'm just kidding. All law enforcement authorities. I'm just kidding. I
Listen,
wouldn't hurt a soul.
I think Kelsey's going to wind up re-signing. She's overseas right now,
Yeah.
playing basketball, but I think Mitchell will come back. What is the biggest impact Stephanie White will have with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston to make their connection even better for Indiana?
I think that what she's going to do is work on some of the fundamentals that were missing in the Fever's repertoire. I think she's going to make sure that that Caitlin Clark is much sharper in particularly from the free throw line, and particularly from her outside shots need to be sharper. She also needs to work just a tad on her defense. And I think that that's another area where she can really, really give some improvement. I mean, when you think you're supposed to have teammates around you who can defend, but how many times did we see Caitlin Clark get battered by the end of a game?
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that Stephanie really brought to the Connecticut Sun. And what have you got there, Brian?
I have Binks.
The kitty.
I have Binks. Binks
Missed.
crept out. Mr. Binks crept out the window and was walking across my desk. And before he pushed any buttons, I grabbed him here.
Aw. Hi, Binks.
Hi, Binksy.
It's your Aunt Allie. I claim being auntie to all to anybody related to you, Brian.
Yep. So you got Binks, you got Pumpkin, you got Winnie, and of course you got Lucy here.
I love that.
But you said something that is so very true. The fundamentals for the Indiana Fever are just going to get a whole lot better with Stephanie.
They sure are.
Because that's one thing that Stephanie really, really stressed. In the year that she won the national championship, you saw all the fundamentals come out, and that's going to get better. And the one thing another thing you said defensively, I think Caitlin Clark is going to be a lot better, because the second half of the year last year, she was getting her hands in a lot of the passing lanes. And now with Stephanie White, she's going to be doing that a lot more often. And she may wind up repeating, if not this year, the next year, something that Michael Jordan did. Lead the league in scoring, lead the league in steals.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe you're absolutely right. Caitlin Clark had this to say about her. She said, playing against her, I would say I felt like her teams always had the best scouts against us. I think that just speaks to her knowledge of the game and her way to analyze, and she was clearly on to something. And then hopefully in turn, now that she knows how to stop us, that should be a good way to know how to help us beat certain things as well. So I think her vast knowledge of the WNBA and having worked for so many teams in the league, I think it's really, it is just a perfect fit for the Fever. Plus, she can see her kids more often. I think, family's everything when you're working. Come home from a bad day, see that semi-smiling face. I mean, my 19-year-old, not always smiling, but damn, I always look forward to seeing them. And
Same with me.
Day,
Same with me. I look forward to seeing my kids and my wife after a good game, a bad game, or whatever. I come in this house and I see Jody's smiling face, and it's like, okay, all the bad stuff can go away now. I am home.
Exactly. And that kind of feeds your soul and feeds your foundation in a way that absolutely nothing else will. It's we as adults what we live for, and even if you don't have children, you can have your kitty cats, you
Yep.
can have your doggies, you can
Hmm.
have your
I got
hamsters. It,
I got pets. I got pets, and I got children, and I got my beautiful wife here. So we have a full house. The Chicago Sky now welcomes Tyler Marsh as their new coach. What's the impact that Tyler Marsh will have on the Sky, in particular, Angel Reese?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that Tyler Marsh brings to the fold is that he developed Asia Wilson into an MVP. He was the one at the Las Vegas Aces who made sure that she became the two-time WNBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Mhm.
So and I think that he more than anybody else, understands the makings of a true how do I want to say it, the superstar
Mhm.
quality, and also Tyler builds for long lasting success, something he learned from his boss Becky Hammond.
Yes.
He builds for the long term, and I mean, I don't see Asia stopping anytime soon.
Mhm.
But by the way, Asia tweeted out that she was not happy about losing Marsh to the Sky. She not a happy camper that she loses her mentor, her
Mhm.
favorite coach. Oh well, sorry.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
now, I'm drive a little bit off. We got the NWSL playoffs. The spots have been
Mhm.
locked in.
Yep.
You got coming in. You got the Orlando Pride, the Washington Spirit, Gotham FC, my Kansas City Current, North Carolina. You got Portland. You got Tampa Bay, and then you got Chicago sneaking in.
Mhm.
they,
What does
they
Chicago need
backed
to
in.
do as that 8th seed to prove everybody wrong?
Oh God. You know what? If they last one round in this upcoming playoffs, starting November 8th, I'm let's just say they were so lucky to be here.
Mhm.
They um the good news is that they have Alyssa Neer, and she's not going anywhere for a while. Mallory Swanson's going to be back as well, so
Right.
uh, there's a chance, but they've not done well against the Current. So I just, with the losing record that they have right now, it's 10 something and 14.
Mhm.
And I just don't see them moving beyond. And I hate to say this because, I'm a Chicago gal and I've been covering the Red Stars, and I'm probably going to continue to call them the Red Stars even
Yeah.
after this year. And you're going to
Mhm.
have to forgive me if I do. Sorry, Laura Ricketts. I love you. But but they could very happily surprise me and move on, but they're going to have to play a much more aggressive style. They're
Yep.
going to and I questioned Lorne Donaldson, about some of his play calling. And it's just they're not. I don't think they're really prepared to be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
I
you got
just,
the Orlando Pride actually being the first matchup at the playoffs for the Chicago Red Stars on starting
yeah,
November 8th. This is going to
right.
be, I believe, in Orlando at Inter Co Stadium. So
And
not only does Chicago have one of their best players gone with suspension, but
yeah,
also you have Orlando, the number one team. Do you think they can pull up upset just like the Florida Panthers did to the Boston Bruins?
you know, um,
You
it's
really have to bring that
possible.
up.
On any given day,
Yeah.
sure. On any given day, everything is possible. They're supremely talented. But they have been much more a flash and glamour team as opposed to somebody who's really been digging down into the fundamentals. They have not. They've not been the team that I expected to see on the field. But sure, Orlando could have a really bad day. Orlando, although I doubt it, I think they haven't they have when I say the Chicago Red Stars have not lived up to my expectations this year. I've been seriously disappointed in their style of play, their aggressiveness. Their defense has looked abysmal at times. But anything and everything is certainly possible, but they don't have anything that I can see going for them this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Sorry to be such a doomsayer.
But you're speaking the truth though,
It's
because
called speaking the truth, which is what
it's
a lot of
it's
people are
one
afraid to do
thing,
nowadays.
and it's
Yeah.
one thing that drives me mad with teams that know can be better. And Allie, you've spoken to it, and just like everyone on this panel has spoken to this word, inconsistency.
Mhm.
The inconsistency is maddening with the Red Stars. I had a chance to look at a couple of their matches, and in one, they're playing like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Okay, they're attacking the net, they're attacking the zone, and then in another game, where are they? They were just sitting back waiting for the game to come to them, and it never did.
Sleeping. They were sleeping at the wheel. It's not the way to win.
No.
But like I said, anything's possible. The race is as tight as Trump versus Harris. It's in the end.
There's
Yeah,
crazy. Let's do
but
one more. Let's do one
yeah,
more thing before we get out of here. After 70 years, after a league of their own folded, and I'm so excited to say this aloud, women's professional baseball will return in 2026. And I already got, where are you? I already got this headset here waiting to put it on and call some games for them.
you and me, Brian.
Yep.
You and me.
We're going to be calling some games for them.
I love it.
I am so excited. How excited are you for this, Allie?
I am 100%. I am so excited that there is going to be a women's professional baseball league.
Yes.
It's going to be called the WPBL,
Mhm.
and it was launched by a woman by the name of Justine Siegel. I have spoken with Justine for many years, and she has been a one-woman force to get women to play baseball, and she has and to get women more involved in the in primarily the playing aspect of the game, because for years it's been, oh, play softball, what's wrong with softball?
Right.
But she's got some pretty heavy hitters coming in with her. First of all, Cito Gaston, if you remember that old name.
I do. Two-time
Oh
world
my.
champion manager with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yep.
I remember Cito Gaston. The one thing I want so Allie, the one thing I want so badly, and you already know where I'm going. You need to tell me who's in charge of their media, because if they don't have anybody in charge of their media, I'll do the damn thing.
It's done, Bri. It's done. They will start in their inaugural season in 2026, the summer of 2026, with 6 teams, primarily in the Northeast.
Yeah.
So, where pretty much everything starts, right?
Yep.
So,
I'll travel. I don't care. I'll travel. I'll bring Jody with me, and I am getting.
I'll bring Greg and Lev, and we'll travel together.
When I got this tweet, it's been such a kick.
Oopsie! I think you froze. I think Brian's frozen on there, but
No.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Whoopsie!
Brian's here.
I'm here.
Brian is here. Brian is here. You literally froze on the screen for a second. Okay. One of the things that is really important to remember here is that this is the same baseball that men play. This is going, and the thing about softball is that it's always been considered kind of a minor sport. It's like, okay, that's what women play. Now, this brings me back to my childhood 1,000 years ago. This was, I was refused entrance to Little League. They
Really?
told me, yes.
Wow.
Yes. I was just prior to Title IX when I came of age for Little League. And I went down to my local village sign-up team, the good old Parks and Rec department.
Yes.
And I said, I want to sign up for Little League. And it was T-ball at the time. And they said, but you're a girl. And I said, and they said, girls don't play baseball. Girls play. Girls play tennis.
I'll contest that. Like, girls don't play baseball. Says you. You don't know the girls. You don't know the girls I know with a mean swing.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, I could take any boy on my block. I mean, anybody. But I said, "What sport do girls play then?" And they told me tennis. I said, "Do boys play tennis?" And they said, "Oh yeah." And I said, well, then why can't girls play baseball? And they said, because we don't do that. And, I was 6 years old. This conversation stayed in my brain for all that time. And so vengeance is mine. But
Vengeance is ours with the Women's Professional Baseball League, and we're running out of time. So, Allie, next week we will expand on this and quite a few more things. That's Mic Drop Moran at your service. Alison Moran comes to us on the Invader Coffee guest line, and Allie, we love you very much. I know there's going to be more and more stuff we're going to talk about next week that we didn't get a chance to here because of time, but we will get it together and we'll have you on again next week and we'll hit everything that we didn't hit today. Thank you, my dear. We appreciate you.
Love you guys. You have a great week.
Thank you much. We got a book. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. And Mic Drop Moran will come on at 9:20 next Tuesday so we can get everything in that we wanted to talk about and then some. So long, everybody. Joel Embiid, you still a bitch. See you tomorrow.